Gandang araw sa inyo mga kapatid kaibigan. Nandito nga pala tayo sa Pangit Ugali Podcast kung saan pangit ang ugali namin.
Kaya inaayos natin.
So now we'll proceed to
our topics of today. So, for a brief intro, halo-halo to pero may mga topics dito na actually other people have told us na medyo nagko-confide sila. So, hopefully makatulong to sa mga real-world problems ng mga ibang tao. Okay? So,
world problems.
yeah man, sa mga internet. That's not the real world. Pag nasa MMO ka.
Okay, sige. Fair, okay.
Hindi yung totoo. Kung mga problema dyan. Mga, ninakawan ka ng gold. Anyway.
Scam ka sa farm.
Oo, na-scam sa Nako. Wala na yun. Anyway. Okay, so, the first topic that we have here, I'll just paraphrase it in a way. Basically, they're asking for advice for feeling left out. This person, they really want to socialize and, but they are afraid na tawagin silang sip-sip or papansin. So, may masasabi ka ba dyan, Zeke?
They want to socialize pero ayaw nila matawag na sip-sip or papansin. The point of socialization is para pansinin ka. If takot ka nang mapansin in the first place, that already defeats the purpose. I think it's best to ask yourself, bakit nga ba ayaw mong matawag ka na papansin? Kasi, to me, what's wrong with being papansin? Like,
siguro to jump into that lang, maybe there's a certain level lang of it na
acceptable.
Yeah, na-acceptable kasi kung I would say siguro from my point of view, ang papansin is may nag-uusap tas bigla lagi, uy, alam mo ba ganyan? Parang talagang kumukuha ka ng attention out of nowhere every time. Yun na lang. Sabihin natin every time na may ganon. That could be papansin. Again, it's still a question of why is that a problem, diba? Pero like normal socialization from my perspective dito as a general rule is like people are talking kunwari in a group, people are talking about the topic and everyone chimes in. Siguro papansin ka, ang isang person would be papansin kung sasabihin nila, ito na lang, mas maganda pala hindi ka lang papansin to pero like yung kunyari may nagko-confide ng problema tapos sasagutin mo, ako nga ganito
sabi na pre, so moment na sila magpapagit ng problema, alam ko pre, papansin talaga.
Papansin yun, diba? So that's I don't know again where this specific person is coming from.
Same.
This is just a statement that they sent to me that they asked. So if that's the case, I don't think they have to worry. Like medyo malayo yung ganon.
Malayo yung threshold.
If they just want to socialize, I think that's already the most basic thing doon sa sinasabi ko kanina, which is like if there is a group of people or siguro kahit one-on-one na may pinag-uusapan, may sinabi sa yung tao na topic, kunyari, nasa cosplay niya kayo, ayos ng cosplay mo tapos parang, pag-usapan mo yung cosplay mo or pag-usapan mo cosplay nila, diba? Hindi pag-uusapan mo, oo nga pala, tapos iniwan ako ng girlfriend ko, tapos, siya parang medyo malayo-layo na yung pinapuntahan nun.
No.
So, you are kind of, I don't know, papansin, parang you want attention, yung dating doon. And then, in the terms of naman sa sip-sip, ito naman, ba't naman magiging sip-sip ang tao? May idea ka ba?
Diba? Parang, magiging sip-sip ka lang naman, at least to me, in my definition of sip-sip. Magiging sip-sip ka lang naman if you're just there to use the person.
Yeah. Sip-sip is I don't know, same ba ito sa English, yung flatter? Parang you're flattering someone. Parang, pogi-pogi mo ngayon, Zik ka.
Parang, hindi naman
sip-sip ba yun? Paano ba example?
Wait. Technically, parang sip-sip na rin yun, di ba? Kasi kiss ass yung...
Yeah. You're kissing their ass na parang So, siguro dito, this person has this kind of perception that if they do socialize, they have to flatter other people or kiss their ass. And I don't think that's a normal thing. Like, it might, maybe it's coming from a point of what they see from other people. Baka yun yung nakita nila na, ibang tao, para makapag-socialize. Lagi nagko-compliment, nagaganyan. And ayoko naman maging parang sip-sip kasi kung mag-socialize ako tapos gagawin ko yan, hindi feeling ko sip-sip ako or kahit tawagin akong sip-sip. Siguro what I want to say is, just I want to reassure them na parang hindi yun kailangan. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I actually ever complimented someone sa like in the kisas way. Like siguro kung may idol ako na parang kasi ako crafter, 'di ba? So, kung may nakita ako, may nakausap akong crafter recently na parang I just met them online and nakita ko yung works nila. I'm like, wow, ang ganda. Parang no joke, ang ganda ng ano. Sabi ko lang is for me, nakaka-inspire. Yung sa akin, nakaka-inspire yung ginagawa kasi I want to do this level of craftsmanship din, diba? So, I don't know, I hopefully hindi naman din siya nag-come off as like kissing their ass kasi I'm not asking for anything from them naman.
Yun yun talaga yun.
Yeah.
May isip-sip ka lang talaga if you're asking something from them.
Yeah, but
Parang tatang, alam mo, napaka-pogi mo talaga eh. Alam mo, pwede mo ba ako tulungan sa sa paggawa ng Master Sword and Legend of Zelda? Yun, medyo ako, no?
Medyo
sip-sip ako, di ba? Pero pag, let's say, uy guys, pogi-pogi mo naman today.
Parang nanggagaga.
Oo, di ba?
Parang pagkatawaan lang yung ganun in a sense, diba?
Yeah, there's no real harm in it, di ba? Parang hindi ka naman talaga mag-iisip-sip unless you're using the person just for something that you want. Para example, siguro if I'll put it into perspective, parang sa akin, di ba? Parang bilang content creator, nararamdaman ko naman yung mga people that genuinely want to make a collaboration with you versus the people that want to be like, oy, sama mo ako sa video mo para sumikat din ako. Di ba? Yun talaga, that comes off sa akin na sip-sip kasi there are some people talaga na parang I guess it counts with being a content creator talaga eh. Yung parang mga there are friends of mine, and I want to clarify, there are friends of mine that always say na uy, sama naman ako sa video mo. Tapos pag mag-shoot ako ng video, ayaw nila maisama. Yun, alam ko mga kaibigan ko talaga yun. Alam ko nanggagago lang talaga yun, di ba? Pero yung mga tao talaga na parang example, hindi ko naman talaga kakilala, uy, sama naman ako sa video mo. Para ma-content mo din ako, para sumikat din ako. That to me, yung right tao, ay, putay na mo, sip-sip ka talaga. Di ba? Parang, alam mo pala, may platform ako eh. Tapos, gusto mo sumikat? Gawa ka sa mong video. Ganun, di ba?
Yeah, so in that sense, the socialization aspect is not part, yung hindi talaga nagko-connect yung walang connection ang pagsa-socialize in a normal way, sabihin natin, with being sip-sip or papansin. Going in reverse dito sa natin and dun sa feeling left out kasi yun yung unang-una talaga sinabi ng person like advice for feeling left out. It's really just finding, kasi ako ito yung hindi ko na nakwento na ba sa podcast ito pero I've had multiple friend groups na in the past and minsan I feel left out ako and I kept not jumping pero laging medyo na nag-wither away yung connections namin just because hindi siya talaga nag-workout. It's like a romantic relationship na parang okay, hindi nag-workout to, so I'm not gonna force naman na hindi, dapat magkakaibigan tayo lahat. So in that aspect talagang you'll have to do a lot of trial and error.
Sadly.
Hindi porket may mabibigay kaming advice na hindi, kumausap ka lang sa tao and you'll have this good friend group na makakapag-socialize kayo and all that. Hindi siya magic na ganun. We were lucky enough na I was lucky enough na ikaw kinausap mo ako noon and I remember ako nag-ask sa'yo kung may Discord kayo and then parang okay, sumasama-sama bigla. Kasi ako, parang gusto ko lang din magkaroon ng mga tao na makakausap. And I was lucky enough again na nandun si Zeke and nandun yung friends niya and friends ko na ngayon. And that's luck, but it's not just pure luck. That was luck
with effort.
With effort,
Yeah,
diba? Because I also put in the effort of asking and talking din naman. Hindi naman to yung parang nandito na ako sa corner ng convention tas hintayin ko lang na may lumapit sa akin. Parang wala namang ganun. Siguro to make it a more of a practical advice. And again, hindi to 100% nagagana lagi. Pero I remember kasi ako mahilig ako sa VTubers. And of course, when I see people cosplaying VTubers, I kind of have an idea na mahilig din sila sa VTubers. So I would talk to them about VTubers, di ba? Parang, so gusto mo rin ba sa ganito? Ako, sa ganito yung gusto ko. So minsan, nagko-connect kami. Minsan may mga people na awkward na parang, yeah, thank you. Parang gagana na sila. And that's fine. But I think if this person is someone, siguro naman kasi dahil sinento sa akin, hopefully there's someone who goes to conventions, and if they do, then that's already a good place to start. You are already in a environment where people are attending with their interests in mind, or at least they're expressing their interests, their the things that they like. So kung kung Ninong Rai enjoyer ka, di lumapit ka kay Sik. Uy, mahilig ka pala kay Ninong Rai. Parang ganun, di ba? Parang that's already something to talk about. And then if he does say something, kunyari sabihin ni Sik, wala ba? Pag may lumapit sa'yo, sabihin, uy, mahilig ka pa kay Ninong Rai. O paano
Di ba, inaanak kamukha lang.
Ay, kamukha, grabe. So, kamukha mo talaga si Ninong Rai. Parang it might sound, siguro doon it might sound like sip-sip. Pero kamukha mo nga talaga eh. Ako tas you can say naman, ako gusto ko yung pagluluto niya, parang ganyan-ganyan, di ba? You talk about these things na are within your interests, not necessarily na take over mo yung conversation. It's not about parang pataasan kayo. It's like you're passing the ball back and forth about things that you're interested in. Kung minsan wala na siyang masabi, kung sabihin ko, mahilig ako sa mga luto ni Ninong Rai, tas wala masabi si Sik. Di parang okay, sige, hanggang dun lang. Maybe wala masyadong ibang pag-usapan, diba? Pero sa ganun, you really won't know again until you try. So you have to put in this effort, and then be lucky enough that you do develop these kinds of friends. And
Siguro ako, if I talk from like a personal experience of mine, talagang you really have to put in the effort to get to know people. Like, I know it may come off as tiring sometimes, pero unless you really put in the effort, you really won't know a lot about them. Siguro, the best example I have right now, it's a core memory of mine kasi it's something that I really, really didn't expect. So there's this friend of mine na, for the hell of it, sinamahan ko sa convention. Kasi, normally naman pag kami magkakasama nila, Cars, kalat-kalat kami sa convention eh. So, meron silang kanya-kanyang agenda. Ako, meron akong sarili kong agenda. Tapos, magkikita-kita na lang kami mamaya or like pag magdi-dinner na. Ganun kami usually sa conventions eh. Unless na parang gagawa talaga kami ng content for the whole day together. Pero, extra ito, naalala ko nung tanabata to. Sinamahan ko lang siya. It talagang core memory ko siya kasi hindi ko talaga in-expect. Basta to me, ang alam ko lang with this person, tahimik siya. Yun lang. Yun lang alam ko, tahimik siya. So, pero ako, sabi ko, there's always more to people, diba? So, wala lang. For that specific convention, sinamahan ko siya and her friend group na maglibot. Libot kami. Tapos, of course, she's pointing at her interest. She's showing ito yung mga hilig niya. Pinupunta niya yung mga boot na hilig na gano'n. Tapos, nalala ko, may nakita kami na, alam mo, nakwento ko na sa inyo to, pero for the sake of the kwento, huwag nilang banggitin ko sino. Okay. Huwag nilang banggitin yung pangalan. Tapos kasama ko siya, nakita siya ng Animal Crossing merch. Tapos, tinuro niya, tapos tinawag na ako. Like, Tapos pagharap ko sa kanya, nakaturo siya sa Animal Crossing. Tapos ganito siya nagsalita. Matagal lang naglalaro ng Animal Crossing. Di ba? Like, I've been playing since the DS days. So, nung narinig kong gawanan siya, sobrang tuwa ko naman. Sumagot ako, tapos ganun kami nag-usap for a while. But I had to put in the effort na samahan siya. Get to know them. But of course, I asked them po, okay lang eh.
Yeah.
No, okay lang samahan eh. But again, putting in the effort to get to know them. I wouldn't have known na naglalaro siya ng Animal Crossing if I didn't put in the effort na samahan sila that day. Buti naman okay sa kanila na samahan ko sila that day eh. It's still a core memory in my mind. Kasi sobrang cute ng moment na yon, especially nung parehas na kaming nag-uusap ng parang Animal Crossing. Sure, to other people, mukha kaming tanga. To other people, ang weird namin. Pero wala akong pakialam doon. Ang mahalaga, nakikilala ko yung person in front of me right now.
Siguro yung maganda dyan na take away ko lang din, gusto ko i-emphasize pala dun sa sinabi mo is actually tell people or at least get their consent. Parang, kasi, di ko maalala. Hindi naman to an extreme level, pero there are some people minsan na parang, kahit ako, sabihin ko na parang minsan parang boring kausap. Tapos, dire-diretso lang sila. Dire-diretso lang sila. And like, I don't know if they know. Kasi ulit, ayoko naman sabihin na, pakiramdaman mo lang ako. Pero it would be nice if, if we could ask na parang, ay, okay lang ba na pinag-uusapan natin to? Or okay lang ba nandito ako? Or nag-uusap tayo ng ganito? Parang, kung ano naman, kung if people were to tell me that, syempre, sasabihin ko pa rin naman as to be nice. Parang, ay, okay lang. Pero, that would make me feel better na parang, okay, they are aware, or at least they are trying to be aware about stuff like this, na hindi lang basta-basta magdadaldal or mag-uusap kahit na maybe it's within a good topic. It's nice to check in. Ayun, check in lang naman.
Yes.
Diba? Hindi sa hotel
Like check in with the person kung okay lang talaga. Get their consent. Ayun. Kasi beforehand naman, like talagang sige, samahan ko na kayo, okay lang. Okay naman sana. So sinamahan ko sa nila. Yeah. And that's how I got to know the person. I would like to say that me and this person right now are fairly close. Like parang I got to know more of them, a lot about them, and I'm really happy because it just started with that one small interaction. And again, regardless, you still have to put in the effort talaga to get to know them
Yeah,
like parang hindi ko naman ina-expect na parang okay, kinaibigan kita tapos kinuwento na sa akin yung talambuhay nila, di ba? Na parang shit.
Siguro isa na lang gusto ko lang madagdag dito as a reminder lang dun sa it's in the last episode pero dun sa feeling left out, it's kind of like yung FOMO. Check din yung mga tao na kasama mo. If they're the ones who are, doing this on purpose or somehow like actively making you feel left out. Yeah. Maybe it's time to choose or this group, or if sasabihin nila sip-sip talaga to, or napapansin ka naman parang in an ironic way na hindi pa joke. Di ba kayo nga true? May find a different group.
Honestly, somehow minsan guilty din ako dyan. Na parang siguro hindi ko alam paano siya explain in a way na hindi siya tunog kupal-kupal.
Wala, sabi mo lang.
Sige, but there are times talaga na I can feel na, especially naiirita ako when people don't ask for consent to join the group. Na parang bigla na lang silang sasama sa grupo namin.
Yeah.
Diba? Na parang, okay, parang, ito, like example sa picture taking. Pag nagpipicture kami with friends, right? I am. Pag tinawag ko I am picture taking. I am lang ang gusto kong nandun. Kung hindi ka taga-I am, siguraduhin mo tatandaan ko yung mukha mo. Tatandaan ko yung mukha mo at iisipin ko, tangina, nakikisali ka sa grupo nang hindi ka naman kasama. Like, ask.
Yeah, yun na naman. Hindi siya siguro harsh kasi nadating sa dami mo. Pero it's at the end of the day, just ask them naman.
Yeah,
again.
Kasi again, sure, I let them join the photo, pero tinatandaan ko talaga yung mga mukha nila. Pero some people, trust me, there are some people that will really parang, ginagawa mo dito? Sino ka? Parte ka ba ng group? And I've done that. Some people have really crossed the line. Example, meron kami Polaroid photo. I remember this. Polaroid photo namin to. Alala ka rin to. Tangina nyo. Talagang, Polaroid photo. Okay, picture tayo. I am is the group that we are in. It's the group it's the friend group that we call our friend group. So ngayon, nandito na, okay? Sama-sama yung I am. May isa na sumali sa picture. Ngayon, kung normal na picture lang, walang problema. But this is a Polaroid. Alright, so mapiprint out siya. Makikita mo yung mga tao. Talagang tinuro ko siya. Excuse me, boss. Sino ka? Sabi, hindi, sige, alis nila ako. Sabi ko, pasensya na, boss. Grupo lang muna namin. I am lang muna. Di talaga kita kilala, boss Ginano ko talaga. Sure, it comes off as harsh. Diba? But again, sumali siya sa picture, then di naman talaga siya dapat kasama
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody would do the same. Para example, imagine mo kayo ng family nyo, di ba? Family photo. Nag-selfie kayo, tapos biglang meron kayo hindi kilala nun nasa likod na kisali sa picture nyo. Minsan nakakairita yung gano'n. And hindi naman ako territorial sa grupo namin, di ba? Everybody can technically mingle with our friend group, but it does not necessarily mean you are part of it.
True.
It's just na, pag sinabi ko ang picture, I am lang, putang ina nyo, lumayo kayo, I am lang talaga gusto ko nasa picture. At minsan, I may come off as a little harsher than usual kapag nakisali kayo sa picture namin nang hindi ka naman miyembro.
Yeah, I think that's fair naman. Siguro, you're just expressing din what a lot of people are thinking minsan pag sa ganyan. Parang, naisip ko na sino ba to? Pero hindi ko na nasabi. So, in that sense naman, like, meron pa rin naman talagang ganun. Kaya, it's important to ask. Like, ako, for the benefit of the doubt, I think minsan yung mga tao na ganun, hindi lang nila alam din ano bang nangyayari. Parang, they're just joining in sa what's happening within like, a certain group area. Na parang, picture, hindi na narinig na, baka marinig na I am lang. Ano big sabihin nun, diba? Parang hindi nila alam. So, baka magkamali sila, ay, sige, akala ko kasama. Pero, in that sense, siguro, again, for this person asking, or anyone else who relates or has kind of similar experiences, ano lang, ask lang.
Ask.
Yeah. Just always parang, ano ba, kasama ba ako dito? O parang, kasi ako minsan gagawin ako, kahit na kasama naman pala talaga ako, kasama ba ako dito? Sige.
It's still really better to ask.
Yeah.
And you know, if kasama ka naman doon, they'll say yes. If hindi, then they'll say no naman eh.
Yeah. Hopefully naman in a nice way. Pag makapag-ask naman, I think that
bad trip lang talaga ako that day, kaya nagawa ko yun.
Yeah, I think if it was asked, then that would it would have brought out a better response.
Yeah.
Kahit di pa rin kasama, sabihin mo, hindi, ano.
Parang normal naman pag ako, wait, grupo lang muna namin. Ganun ako eh. Bad trip lang talaga ako that day. Kaya, boss, sino Hindi ako galit sa tao na yun. Promise, hindi ako galit sa tao na yun. Bad trip lang talaga ako at that time.
Time lang na.
Just that specific time lang ako bad trip. Pero, like, normally naman, wala naman sa aking problem pag nakikisama sa photos with friends, you know? Basta pag sinabi kong I am lang.
Sige. Pag marinig nyo si Sik, marinig niya I am lang. Alam nyo na, I am ka ba? Tapos, I think therefore I am. Tapos, ay, di pala.
Yeah, pero I guess that's and again to siguro add it to, there's nothing wrong with like the point of socializing is para pansinin ka ng tao. Remember, hindi naman masama na technically parang maging onting papansin, pero kung yung papansin mo ay tulad nga ng example ni Cars kanina, ino-override mo na yung kwento ng ibang tao and trying to make it more about you rather than just adding to the story. Diba? Then maybe check how you say things.
If you don't, kung hindi mo maramdaman din on your own, again, ask lang.
Yep,
parang,
ask.
Okay lang ba na sinasabi ko to? Or parang, honestly, parang wag lang maging kind, no? Okay lang ba na nasasabi ako ng ganito? Or, di ko alam eh. Parang, baka hindi na pala nagka-contribute sa kwento yung mga sinasabi.
It's okay. Asking will take you a long way, guys. Like I always say, pag nagtanong ka, may gintanga ka lang saglit. Kasi malalaman mo yung sagot eh. Makukuha mo yung sagot eh. Diba?
Yeah.
Pag hindi ka nagtanong, may gintanga ka habang buhay. Para example, picture, diba? Sure, sige. Pag sinabi ko, sige, picture, I am lang. Pag nagtanong ka, kasama ba ako sa picture na to? Tanga ka ng saglit. Kasi sasabihin ko, hindi. Diba? Pero ngayon, pag sinabi ko, I am lang, nakisali ka sa picture, imposible hindi ko mapansin yun. Papansin ka. Nakisali ka ng picture, di ka nagtanong, nakisali ka lang eh. Kumanda ka maging tanga habang buhay. Talagang sasabihan kita, excuse me boss, sino ka?
Okay.
Kaya, it's best, ask. Magiging tanga ka lang ng saglit.
Hindi ko na-gets na nila. sobrang in-emphasize talaga.
Sabi naalala ko lang talaga eh.
Sige lang. Next topic na tayo.
Okay na ako dun.
Okay, so sa next topic naman natin is the fear. Afraid of confrontation. So, yung tao na to lumapit sa akin again. Actually, with the other video that we had when I was talking with Mooney, dun sa shorts version lang naman to when I was like specifying on confrontation. Dito kasi, to explain their situation dito, hindi naman NDA eh. Wala man details na specific sa tao na to. Pero like, basically whenever anyone like confronts them about something, even though like they're in, the right, na parang tama naman yung side nila, nagsha-shutdown na sila, hindi sila makapagsalita, hindi nila alam kung ano sasabihin, diba? So, like, nagtaka ako dito kasi I was asking them parang meron ba silang pinanggalingan dito, and like, yung point na pinuntahan nila when they were talking with me, kasi hindi kami natapos mag-usap na to eh. Hanggang ngayon, kausap ko pa rin, no? Hindi. Natapos yung usapan namin nang hindi natatapos, hindi na-explore lahat. Pero like, what they were telling me was like, even daw sa past na parang, siya naman yung ginawa ng mali, na parang may nagawa ng mali sa kanya, and they were in the right, hindi pa rin siya naman hindi nag-confront. Like, hindi niya, basically, pag meron siyang karapatan, hindi niya alam paano ano yung term na yun?
Express?
Hindi niya ma-express or hindi niya hindi niya ma-take charge. Ayun. May ano ka ba dyan? May thoughts ka ba dyan?
Siguro it's the goal of why you're confronting them.
For them naman pag siya yung
Parang ultimately what is the goal to confront them, 'di ba? At least to me, this is how I see confrontations kasi, especially if it's with like let's say normally naman you confront people when they cross boundaries. 'Di ba? Parang may nasabi sila na nasaktan ka, which is technically still, parang boundary pa rin naman technically.
Yeah.
So the point about confrontations isn't necessarily to start a fight.
No.
Diba? I feel like, kasi yun when people say the term confrontation, okay, mag-aaway to. Okay, kung ano-ano na mangyayari, diba? But I feel like people misunderstand the term and the goal.
Oh.
The goal of confrontations, ito, para at least to me, and this is how I understand it kasi, the goal of confrontations is to not to cut off the friendship, but rather to enhance it.
Yeah.
Diba? Like, that's the main point of confrontations eh. Parang it's not there to cut off the friendship, it's just to enhance it. Kasi, if I would put it in like a sentence, hey, I like hanging out with you. You're a great friend of mine. I like your company. But you doing this hurts me. Is it possible for you not to do it so that I can continue hanging out with you without being hurt?
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's how I see confrontations kasi. And maybe there's a misconception na when you say confrontation, Cars, alam mo, and I feel like it normally stems from how families deal. Like maybe from all the way from childhood. It stems from there kasi some parents, I don't know yan. Again, some, emphasis on some, diba? Some parents, when they confront their children about something wrong that they did, they don't really go that route na parang, hey, eto yung ginawa mo. Sometimes galit. Pagalit yung tono, 'di ba? So if you're programmed na kapag kina-confront ka, galit yung tao, you yourself would be afraid of confrontations, 'di ba? Kasi sometimes hindi ka naman talaga galit eh. Nasaktan ka lang sa sinabi nila, sa nagawa nila, and you want to tell them na nasaktan ka so that they won't do it again. 'Di ba?
True. Tama yan.
So maybe the first thing to understand is parang to look within yourself, parang the goal of the confrontation. Kasi there must be a reason why you shut down, diba? Again, if you feel like you guys are going to fight, maybe may misconception ka with what a confrontation really is. Kasi even kami ni Cars, diba? Like, sure, we're great friends, we're close friends, pero kina-confront namin yung isa't isa on a regular basis na parang, let's say, may nakita si Cars, may napansin siya na parang meron akong maling nagawa. Ruzik, eto nga pala yung nangyari, diba? Parang, kaya mo ba ipaliwanag sa akin bakit ganito yung nangyari? And it's just to come off as an understanding to each other.
Yeah.
Confrontations are more of understanding and enhancing the friendship rather than cutting it off.
Siguro yung kasi dyan, with the terminology used, kasi yung maganda naman doon is differentiate mo yung confrontation like by talking lang and the angry kind, diba? I think kasi yung what this person, even me, like how I would usually define confrontation is yung galit na version.
Right.
Like that's how people, I think, I don't
In
know,
a general sense.
in a general sense na lang. That's how a confrontation is, na parang ko-confront kita kasi may nangyari, diba? Parang ano bang meron, diba? Ano bang and yung parang sa sinabi mo naman na parang, I have this problem, parang hindi okay sa akin itong ginagawa mo, ganyan. That's more, I would define that more like having a conversation. Kasi, diba? I think that's like if it were to be like a conversation, I don't think people would shut down naman na parang, oh my God, they're having a conversation with me. May problema sila or may nagawa ako. Parang if it goes to that level, I think the advice could still apply. Pero like the confrontation pa rin talaga, that the anger part or the yung parang nagko-corner ka. Yun yung delikado doon. Or di man yun yung parang yun yung nakakapag-shut down doon na parang if you are backed into a corner and you don't know what to do, parang kasi the reason I believe people would shut down when they are confronted is maybe they have had experiences na whatever they say hindi naman sila papakinggan.
Fair.
Diba?
Fair,
Parang,
definitely. Diba? Parang you lose the motivation to explain and talk.
Ba't pa ako magsasalita kung
Di mo naman papakinggan.
Oo, diba? So, with that, ang pinaka basic na lang siguro na advice ko dito kasi I don't know if may mahaba naman to pero like it goes again to what I've been trying to teach a lot of people naman na especially if you're watching this you do have the knowledge now na you get to talk to people having a conversation is a two-way street. So
Yes.
if they are saying something about you parang ay ba't mo ginawa to or kunyari magjowa kasi yun sa example dun sa video nung sa amin last time was magjowa na parang yung babae sinasabi niya na ba't ba ganito mga lalaki ba't ba pag pag ayaw mo na hindi mo sinasabi pa parang ganon. So if like a partner goes up to you and says parang ba't hindi mo sinasabi sa akin na ayaw mo na sa akin and you answer agad na parang hindi naman gusto ng mga ganyan diba parang that's answering the question pero like the way it would help out more with I guess our methods is to understand where they're coming from.
Yes.
Diba? Kahit mahirap although kahit galit hopefully the mere fact kasi sa akin I'm hoping that the mere fact na kinonfront ka nila is already them being a bit more open to hearing out your side.
Somehow.
Yeah, a bit more.
A bit more,
Like,
yeah.
Maybe not the direct answer agad na parang kung sinagot mo yung kinonfront nila, baka hindi sila makinig agad eh. So, instead of answering agad, ano ba yung sagot dun sa tanong nila, ask them where they're coming from. Ano ba yung pinanggagalingan ng tanong nila? Why are you, parang kunyari, dun sa example mo na parang, ano yung example mo ngayon na parang there's something na ayoko sa ginagawa mo or parang
parang if you're like may kina-confront kang tao parang hey I like your company, I like hanging out with you, but whenever you do this it hurts me.
Ayun, so
diba?
So the dyan is hindi man sabihin na parang hindi naman ginagawa to para makasaktan ka parang so sabihin mo so what about this thing that I do hurts you, parang ano bang meron, hear them out, ano bang pinanggagalingan nila.
Definitely.
The purpose of that, I don't know again if I've said this here na or maybe I've said this multiple times na pero the purpose of that, hearing people out talaga, is it has a lot of benefits naman. It shows that it you listen, you understand them, it shows them that you're listening, it shows them that you're understanding na uy, nakikinig sa akin tong tao na to. And showing and proving that you are understanding and listening to them makes them more open to listen to you on the other hand naman, diba?
Yep.
Na pag pinapakinggan ka ng tao, 'di ba? Pag nafi-feel mo na pinapakinggan ka ng tao na kausap mo, mas magiging open ka pakinggan din sila. Kasi nakikinig naman to, so reciprocation, 'di ba? Pero kung may sinabi ako tas i-shutdown lang din naman sinabi ko with another thing, edi ba't pa ako makikinig sa'yo? Wala man palang point to sinabi ko, 'di ba?
Exactly.
Ayun. May maisip ka ba dyan?
Honestly, I feel like that's essentially it eh.
It's pretty cut and dry. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully kung mapanood to nung taong nakausap ko, baka mas meron pa mapag-usapan and it's not to say na hindi valid yung pag-shutdown nila or like it's not the mere fact na tama yung side nila na dapat may sasabihin sila. It's really not that. It's for me it's really more of ano ba yung pinanggagalingan ng ibang tao? Ano ba yung kung meron gumawa sa'yo ng mali, ano bang nangyari dito sa tao na to? Ano bang kasi hindi naman ako naman parang hindi ako hindi ko goal sa buhay na ipakita sa lahat ng tao na tama ako eh. Parang wala namang ganun eh. It's more of
I myself I love it when someone points out to me na lalo na kapag if it's something na I didn't notice. Parang I really like it when someone talks to me and parang oy eto nga pala yung nagawa mo.
Like, siyempre maganda if it's said in a good way.
Yeah, if it's said in a good
parang kasi wala mong nagawa to
parang example, 'di ba? Parang siguro wala mo bigay na recent example eh kasi daming naka-NDA sa akin eh. Pero there are things na parang na-appreciate ko talaga kasi ako I love learning from my mistakes. Parang as someone who has made a lot of mistakes in their life, one of the many things I can be proud of is there are so many things you can learn from mistakes eh.
Yeah.
And there's this belief that I have that just because something works doesn't mean it can't be improved.
Oh, yeah.
Especially parang ikaw, the way that I confront people. Dati, for example, the way that I used to confront people. Whenever I confront people, kaya nagigets ko saan dyan ang galing eh. Kasi nakita ko kagad yung sarili ko eh. Whenever I confronted people dati, I'd be like, oy Gars, eto nga pala yung ginawa mo. Bakit? Ba't ganito ka? Ba't mo ginawa yun? Ganon. Ganon ako dati mag-confront. But nowadays, I noticed na maybe I could improve on how I say things. Like, I was comfortable with confronting kasi it gets me straight to the point. It gets me the problem done. But there are people, again, like this one, there are people I forgot to consider na are afraid of confrontation. And they might shut down. So, another method, maybe it might help you, the viewers, the audience.
Hopefully for those people din na nagko-confront, matuto rin sila ng ganito.
Ako, the way that I confront people now is parang, if it's, there are two ways that I do it. The first one is parang, ay, Cars, pwede ba kitang makausap saglit? Then pag, okay. Kasi, don't get me wrong, I really love hanging out with you and I love spending time with you. Like, parang, ang saya pag kasama ka. Pero, tuwing ginagawa mo to or sinasabi mo to sa akin, medyo nasasaktan ako. May magagawa ba tayo about it? That's how I do it. Approach number 1. Ngayon, approach number 2, paano kung hindi ko madirekta si Cars ng gano'n? Ito, matagal na ito napapadin sa ni Cars. Ganito ako. Cars, pag eto yung sitwasyon, ano sa tingin mo? Like parang let's say, Cars, yung isa kong kaibigan kasi masyadong like parang masaya naman siya kasama. Pero, pero si Cars talaga yung tinutukoy ko dito Parang, Cars, ano sa tingin mo sa certain situation na to? Kasi may kaibigan ako. Enjoy naman ako kasama siya. Masaya naman siya. Pero, tuwing ginagawa niya kasi itong bagay na to, medyo na-off ako. Hindi ko lang alam paano siya i-approach. Ikaw, paano mo ba i-approach yun? So, kaya makakuha ko yung side ni Cars, di ba?
It's a good way din talaga actually. Like, again, it is advice for people naman na nangko-confront. Para if the person that you're talking to is not able to give direct answers pag sila yung pinag-uusapan, maybe they're more open to give opinions if they believe or at least feel nila na we're talking about a third person, a separate person, hindi ako.
Person, yes.
Baka mas
open pa sila doon, di ba? And, sometimes when they're put in a third person perspective, minsan makikita nila na parang, ako din, ginagawa ko yan. And it's not directly confronting them, sure, but it's somehow telling them that they can improve on things. Kasi ikaw, you're coming from you're still using yourself as the example, di ba? You're just using a third-party person doing the hurt na ginagawa nila sa'yo. But essentially, it's still them.
It removes the defensive aspect.
Yeah, it removes the defensive aspect from them. And makes you understand how they would deal with it.
Baka ikaw rin kasi meron di ka nakikita din, diba?
Maybe you yourself, you're not seeing something from the situation. Makikita ko pa saan sila nanggagaling. So, those are the two ways that I do to confront people. And, again, there's still confrontations Siguro it's just that now we have conversations.
Conversation talaga.
So, it's the confrontation with the goal of understanding each other rather than the confrontation of trying to prove that I'm right.
Yun. Yun talaga yan
Yun
talaga yun.
Kasi you could confront someone but ultimately you just want to be right. Na parang, okay, sure, naiintindihan ko saan ka nang gagaling. Ako pakialam daw.
Pangit ng ganun.
Bakit pa rin yung ganun? Always, and just because you understand someone's side doesn't mean you justify what they did.
Oo.
You just know where they're coming from.
That's also know that there is a difference between validating, understanding, and justifying. That's different talaga.
Yes. Para example, sa friend group namin, that's one of the many things why I really like yung sa friend group namin how we do confrontations, especially if the person themselves telling the story is the one that's actually in the wrong. Nasabi namin na parang, okay, naiintindihan namin saan ka nang gagaling, pero ikaw talaga yung nasa mali dito sa sitwasyon. Like,
short version to hindi diretso agad.
Like marami pa tong layers, pero like pinaka TLDR, parang we understand where you're coming from, but ultimately you're still the one who's in the wrong.
And makakapag-move forward from there. Nalaman ko na magagawa from there. It's not like hindi siya parang puro kesa-asang ulit.
Na parang, pre, tropa ka namin, kahit mali yung ginawa mo, okay lang yan. Pwedeng ganon.
Hindi mo ganon.
Like, your real friends will actually tell you when you're doing something wrong. They won't support you when you're doing something wrong. Pagsasabihan ka nila.
Yeah, supportan ka nila mag-grow.
Mag-grow.
Mag-improve.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay ako to.
Next topic na
That was
tayo. Okay, so let's go on to the last topic. Ito, hindi ko lang may nagsabi ba sa atin ito eh. Pero, inisip lang natin itong topic na to. And,
Kunyari ako.
yeah, ikaw na lang. And I think it's a topic that a lot of people relate to naman eh. So, it's about doing your best, but you feel like you're not enough. Oh. I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. Ay ba? Oh, yan. Meron ka bang ano dyan?
And that's fine.
Pero, even if you say that's fine, kasi I think some people would say, nga, it's fine. Pero, nadadown pa rin ako sa feeling ko na hindi enough eh. Ano bang magagawa dito? Diba?
Fair. Siguro, I'm trying to think of a situation to approach this from eh. Kasi at least to me, I was able to, like, I myself, I went through a similar situation eh. Parang ginawa ko na yung lahat, di talaga kaya.
Parang yung sa kinagwento mo kanina.
Di ba? Parang binigay ko na lahat eh. Todo na eh. Everything I possibly could, I gave. But it just really wasn't enough eh. I guess, it's just part of the harsh reality of the ano eh.
Siguro naisip ko dito yung tanong dito is what do you actually care about? Being enough or being the best? Or doing the best, diba?
Doing the best.
Kasi those two things are actually separate naman, diba?
Totoo naman.
Na sometimes you don't need to do your best. And sometimes you can just, relax and that's enough. Kasi nga may iba naman na they're doing their best but it's not enough for others. Maybe for them, I don't know. Kasi being enough will rely on other people din eh. On like the situation around it. Or siguro sabihin na natin para mas harsh pa, mga taong, I don't know, they live alone and then they work their ass off. Pero hindi pa rin sila makapagbayad ng bahay or whatever. Kaya parang, pag sa ganon, maybe you are putting your best into the wrong things. Isa bagay yun. So,
I like that.
Yeah, so parang the mere fact siguro na that you're doing your best is not indicative that it'll produce the best results. Kasi alam mo yung ito meme na definition to yung insanity. You keep doing the same thing again and again, diba? That's the definition of insanity, or expecting the same result. So it's not actually the meaning of insanity, pero like that's just, I think it's relevant to this topic, diba?
Part 3, by the way.
Yeah. So like if you keep doing your best, yun yung masaklap dun eh. Na you keep doing your best, talagang nagawa 100% ka, pero sa maling bagay mo ginagawa. Parang sabihin mo, ito naman siguro a funny na comparison, pero I'm doing my best. Lahat ng pera ko nilalagay ko sa loto pero hindi enough, di ako nananalo.
Fair.
Diba?
You're putting your best.
Oo, diba? You're putting your best eh. So, ba't di ako nananalo sa loto? Nilagay ko na lahat ng pera ko dito Diba? Other people will say, ba't mo doon nilalagay? Ano bang mo, diba? In that kind of an example, doon magkaka-realization na parang, medyo mali yung Pero if it's in a more vague kind of example na parang, I'm doing my best in this job.
Diba?
Hindi. Siguro in a more vague kind of example na parang, I'm doing my best in this job. I'm working 24/7. I don't know. Talagang lahat ng bagay ginagawa ko. Pero hindi pa rin ako makapagbayad ng mortgage or or hindi ako makapag-enjoy ng buhay. And they maybe try to find a different job. Diba? Maybe find something else that will allow you to get more money for the less time. Kasi the thing naman dyan is if you have gained skills in your life that that's valuable for specific jobs and your current job doesn't pay you enough, edi look for somewhere else that will compensate you properly.
Yes.
Diba? Para pag ganun, it'll feel enough. Maybe not even doing your best in that job. Parang, I'm just doing what I can, or I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. And then that'll be maybe even more than enough pa yung yung kakalabasan nun. Kasi siguro the difficulty here is when people are, I don't know if tama ba sabihin, pero like maybe they're close-minded or they're not, they're not open enough to see other avenues in life na pwede ko tong gawin. And hindi nila alam ano ba bang magagawa para makuha yung gusto nila. Diba? Yung mahirap dito, ito, I don't know if makaka-relate ka, pero like, I know there are some people na, yun nga, minsan maganda din talaga yung sweldo nila, maganda yung trabaho nila, but they're working their ass off hanggang to the point na, ano ba yung pinag-iipunan nila ng pera para lang magpa-hospital?
Para lang magpa-hospital.
Diba? So, parang, how do you know if that's
worth
that? Yeah, that's worth it, or if that matches the effort that you're putting into, diba? So, maybe, actually, in a funny way rin pala, naisip ko kasi bigla na parang correlation sa pag-gym, sa pag-workout and diet. There are some people, ito, alala ko to na tinuturo, na there are some people that they work out a lot and they diet a lot, but they're not losing any more weight. Kunyari gusto na mag-lose ng weight. And they diet a lot, they're not losing any more weight. They're doing their best, diba? Pero hindi enough.
Hindi talaga.
Alam mo yung ginagawa ng iba para biglang makapag-progress pa? They eat more. Kasi when they eat more, they have more energy to do more.
Okay.
Kasi if they keep dieting, 'di ba? Parang diet hanggang wala na akong kinakain. Wala na silang energy na makapaggalingan. Oh, 'di ba? So in a funny way, kaya na-correlate ko na parang yeah, it's kind of like, in your life din na parang if you keep doing this job or whatever na nilalaan mo lahat dito pero wala kang ibang inaayos na bagay, baka yun yung part na nagiging detriment sa buhay mo.
Pwede.
Na nagpapakahirap sa'yo, diba? Like, may naisip ka pa ba doon?
Wala, sa akin, biased ako I speak in terms of relationships, right? But again, the same thing still applies
Yeah.
If you're doing your best in your relationship, but just, like your partner says na it doesn't feel enough, again, try to come to a point of understanding why it doesn't feel enough to them. If check on, is it really something that achievable for you?
Yeah.
Diba? Parang, as an example, medyo wala naman ako NDA dito, so medyo free ako to talk about it. Pero I remember I had this one friend of mine na sobrang extreme ng partner niya. And by extreme, I mean talagang no consideration for the situation of their partner. So, ang ginawa nila, okay, gusto ko by 25 years old, eto na yung meron tayong bahay, meron tayong kotse. By 28 years old, naghahanda na tayo to be engaged para ikasal tayo. By 30 years old, ikakasal tayo. By 35, meron na tayong mga anak, napapaaral na natin sila. Eto yung timeline niya.
Yeah.
Sure, it sounds nice on paper, right? But the thing that makes it hard is kasi the person, yung partner na sinasabihan niya na sana, by ganitong edad, ganito na tayo, siya yung breadwinner ng family niya. And there is no way na masusunod niya yung timeline na yun.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang in all consideration for their partner, it's impossible. Pero ayaw makinig na ng partner niya. Pinipilit talaga. Okay, you have to be like this by this age. Kailangan ganito na yung salary mo by this age. It might make some people motivated, diba? If they were in a different situation.
Yeah.
But again, we have to always consider the situation of the other party. If siya yung he was the only breadwinner ng family nila. And siya yung nagko-cover na expenses ng lahat. So, there was no way he could follow the timeline.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, yun talaga yung he's doing his best.
Oo.
Diba? He's really
It's
giving his
not
100%. It's not enough. Because of the situation that he's in. Ngayon, the second thing, he asked himself, is it worth it? Kasi magpapagod siya. Dodoblehin niya pagtatrabaho niya. Just to achieve a goal that technically would kill him early on. Dahil lagi nga namin sinasabi ni Harris, diba? Trabaho ka 24/7 para lang magpa-hospital. Ganon gagawin niya Niwan niya na lang.
Yeah, that's something na siguro yung inaisip ko actually dyan is something we were saying early on in the other episode na when you have this kind of situation that you're doing your best, siguro wala ka na talagang maling ginagawa. Like, sabihin natin talagang tama lahat ng ginagawa mo, but it's not enough. Accept that you are powerless in this
In that
situation,
situation.
diba?
Yun na talaga yan.
Na parang wala akong magagawa dito. If it's like that na parang relationship, wala akong magagawa dito. Kahit anong gawin ko, I'm doing my best. Hindi ko na lang ipupush to kasi like, you know, babies, pwede mo sabihin, hindi, ipilitin ko. You don't know pa rin kung kakalabasan na to is okay. And depende sa partner mo. Kung yung partner mo talagang do or die siya,
Yeah.
baka hindi maano yun. Pero if your partner is someone naman na reasonable na parang pwede makausapan, di baka pwede pang pwede pang magawa ng paraan yun, diba? Pero if it's like, you know, siguro sabihin natin na for breadwinners, diba, na parang talagang binubuhat na lang kahit na walang relasyon. Baka may iba na breadwinner, they're doing everything to pay for everything naman and hindi talaga enough. Maybe it's time to say na hindi ka talaga kaya gawin to lahat and talk to the other people in the family.
Definitely.
To, you know, maybe baka pwede rin may ibang gumawa ng, I don't know, some kind of work. Diba?
Makatulong lang kahit paano.
Para makatulong. Like, kasi yung delikado kasi dun is, it's the ego talaga na parang hindi kaya ko to or like, as long as I do my best, may kakalabas na ito maganda. Pero, if you allow your ego to take control of you in that way, edi talagang downward spiral na lang talaga siya. Or yun nga, nagkapera ka nga, pero nasa hospital ka naman, diba?
And that's the harsh reality of life talaga eh. Just because you do your best doesn't mean it will be enough. Ganun talaga eh. You can, parang nasabi na ni Gars kanina eh, you can do your 100%. Di enough. Maybe you
accept lang talaga. Accept that part na it might not be enough. And yeah, it's okay. And find other avenues. Find other things to do. In that sense naman, diba? Para alam na ako ano yung magagawa pa. Para pag ganun, edi maybe again, hindi siya a solo effort. It's a community effort.
Yeah.
Para magawa yun. So at least medyo happy pa rin yung ending natin. Parang lungkot na ending bigla eh.
Kasi parang ultimately, like, and talaga yun eh. Ultimately, it's just really the acceptance.
Accept lang. It's gonna be hard to accept these things, pero it'll be much more worth it to accept and move on from that. And like, you know, not move on like wala nang gagawin. Move on. Do something, grow from it. Do something else. Instead of trying to hold it, hold it into yourself by yourself, wag gawin yun. That's really gonna be dangerous in the long run.
Maraming, parang buhay naman talaga, delikado pag pinipilit.
Yeah, pag pinipilit and pag hindi ka kumukuha ng tulong.
Yep.
Yun talaga.
Again, parang sabi nga ni Cars, di ba? Di naman single player game ang buhay.
It's an MMO, diba?
You ask help from the community, ask help from the people around you. Technically, mga senior citizen, mga devs na yan. Tanungin mo na yan. Ano yung pwede gawin dito? Tapos meron tayong mga pro players na, di ba? Mga ilang beses na nakaranasan yung sitwasyon na yan. Pero, you ask them for help.
Siguro last ko na lang dito. Maybe there are people who are saying, ba't sila kaya nila? Ba't so kaya na to? Kaya sabihin, breadwinner din. You don't know their life. You don't have the exact same life as someone else. You don't grow up the same way, then get the same job. Hindi pareho. Kaya, you know, that kind of comparison is not gonna be helpful. It's just, it's not gonna be helpful to anyone. It's just gonna be more reason for you to, again, take it by yourself. But no, don't. Huwag mo lang gawin yun.
Yeah. Like, talagang, it's impossible eh. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so ending na tayo ito?
Yeah, I feel like that's it. Just really with the acceptance of it all. Like, parang ultimately come to terms na it wasn't enough and that's fine. You can find other avenues and you can grow from this.
Yeah. Meron makakausap lagi. Yun yung maganda masabi dyan. Lalo na in the Philippines, madali naman humasok sa mga tao.
Yeah.
Kung wala kang friends, make online community, ang dami lagi dyan.
Yep.
So, you're not out of avenues. That's something I am pretty sure of.
Yes.
And so
yan. Okay na ako doon? Okay na doon?
Oh, okay na ako doon.
Then ako doon. Okay. So with that, we can end the episode now. All right. So with that, thank you very much for watching. To whoever is watching, thank you very much for supporting us in this venture of ours. If you like it, please share it with your friends. if you feel like if you have questions, you can always ask it and we'll
Pwede kayo
do our
mag-PM.
best. Yeah, we'll do our best to answer them here if kailangan din siya ng tulong. If we see it as something na the general public if it can help the general public get on.
Yeah, exactly.
So, ayun nga, kami nga pala ang Pangit Ugali Productions. Podcast pala, no? Kami nga pala ang Pangit Ugali Podcast kung saan pangit ang ugali namin.
Kaya inayos namin.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.